This is Stef from Double Move Sports, and you're watching the Fantasy Film Room. I know. You clicked on the video thinking, what can this guy possibly say about O.J. Howard? He's been terrible all year for fantasy and is widely regarded as one of the biggest busts of the 2019 season. But one of the keys to winning fantasy games week to week is to never be too stubborn to change your opinion on a player when faced with new information. O.J. Howard has burned fantasy owners who took him near his ADP on draft day. He was the number 4 tight end on the board, projected to be worth about a 5th round pick. He's had 2 0-point outings this year, as well as 2 games where he scored 2 points this year. He was even benched by Bruce Arians at one point. However, Howard is trending up. Over his last 2 games, he's scored more than 11 points in PPR leagues, making him a fringe tight end 1 both weeks. We know Jameis Winston and Bruce Arians like to throw the ball, and with Mike Evans injured and ruled out for Week 15, someone will need to catch the almost 10 targets a game that Evans was getting. In Week 14 for the Buccaneers, Howard was second in yards only to Chris Godwin. To me, O.J. Howard is a guy you can plug in at tight end if you're streaming the position, or have to start a guy like Dallas Goedert, Jimmy Graham, or Jonnu Smith. Based on his matchups against Detroit, Houston, and Atlanta, his role in the Buccaneers offense, and his athletic ability, we think Howard is a guy that you can plug into lineups in Week 15 and 16, regardless of his 2019 season averages. Howard's game against the 21st tight end defense in Week 14 can give us some answers. This game against the Colts at home turned into a shootout, with the Bucs taking it by just a field goal. Let's break it down. After Mike Evans leaves the game at the end of the first quarter, O.J. Howard sees 2 targets on this drive right before halftime. In fact, Howard was on the field for 87% of the snaps in this game. Compare that to the other tight end, Cameron Brate's 30%. Fantasy owners like to see Howard in this formation, where the Bucs send 4 receivers wide on 3rd and 1. Howard runs a curl to give Jameis Winston a safe option if none of the receivers downfield are open. Howard is utilized well here, gaining an advantage with his big frame and above average quickness at the tight end position. 8 yards for him on this play. Later in the drive, it's 2nd and 10 in the red zone. Howard runs what looks like it's supposed to be a corner or a go route. Winston throws it up to give him a chance, but these two simply weren't in sync on this one. Not to mention the defender has great outside leverage and stays with Howard in stride. Nonetheless, an end zone target is a step in the right direction. Howard's next target actually doesn't come from Jameis Winston, who didn't play the first drive of the second half. Later, it was revealed that x-rays show Winston has a small fracture in his hand, but he was able to play through it. In fact, he threw for 456 yards in this game. So Ryan Griffin is under center and targets Howard on his first throw. I like this play design right here. 2 wide receivers are lined up tight to the formation, and Howard is set to block. The receivers run deep routes, and Howard does a hesitation move, then runs another curl where there's only one man on him who's protecting the first down marker on this 2nd and long. Again, we see the Bucs use Howard as a safety valve with these curl routes. Now, I'm not sure what changes for the Bucs here, but Howard's next 2 receptions are deep downfield. Great news for his fantasy production. Down 2 touchdowns on 2nd and 1, Winston takes a shot downfield. Both tight ends, Howard and Brate, run deep routes here, and the Colts keep these defensive backs in the zone. Howard runs right by their wall of zone defenders and makes a 33-yard catch and run. These are the plays we want to see Howard and Winston connect on more. And the good thing for Howard owners is that they do, on his final target of the day. At the top of the 4th quarter, it's 1st and 10. Howard lines up on the strong side of the formation in a blocking stance. The Bucs run play action to the weak side, which the linebacker bites on, while 2 receivers pull defenders to the right side. All of this was enough time for Howard to run a drag route and then turn upfield with space. Thanks to the linebacker biting on the run fake, Howard is wide open. He turns his body around to make this catch for a 27-yard gain and a run out of bounds to stop the clock. While Cameron Brate does scare me as the other tight end option that can take away targets, he's a bit banged up and Howard has outsnapped him by a wide enough margin for me to look the other way. The fact that Brate had a touchdown in this game and Howard had an end zone target should give owners some confidence that Howard could be scoring a touchdown soon. There's a reason O.J. Howard played at Alabama and put up over 100 yards in the 2015 and 2016 college playoff championship games that were against Clemson. There's a reason why the Buccaneers took him 19th overall, and there's a reason why Howard was such a highly touted fantasy option before the season. Howard has the potential to become a top-tier tight end, and a player who can plug into your tight end spot on the way to a fantasy football title. Let us know in the comments who you guys would like to see me break down next. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And for more hot takes, narratives, predictions, and fantasy analysis, check out our podcast and follow us on social media. I'll see you next time.